Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. Shares of Tesla seeing a big pop in the session today, up about 4% after posting record deliveries for its electric vehicles in the first quarter, delivering more than 310,000 cars. That marked a 68% jump from the same period last year, but production also fell on supply chain disruptions. Let's bring in Craig Irwin. He is ROTH Capital Partners Managing Director, Senior Research Analyst. Craig, it's good to talk to you today. The numbers are the good news, and yet it feels like the risks are starting to kind of get layered here for Tesla, like so many car companies, especially with what's happening over in Shanghai and those closures coming from those COVID restrictions. How do you see the outlook?
So I think the outlook is actually pretty good for Tesla. I've been talking a while about two major levers, or for Musk, levers, that you can pull or that he can pull. Specifically India and the mini car. Those have been far too long in coming. I'd heard about those from mutual friends. And those will be big drivers. India could be just as big as China for Tesla. The mini car could just be as important as the 3 and the Y were for market expansion, bringing that lower price point car to market. These are things that I think over the course of this year, we're going to have a lot more visibility on. So short term, 6 days where Shanghai shut down does have an impact. We still grew deliveries sequentially by scratch, a tad. Austin's ramping, Berlin's ramping. So if there is a larger headwind in China, there may be some complications there. But Tesla, I wouldn't be trading Tesla for a miss here. I think they're actually pretty well teed up for the next series of quarters.
Craig, what's your outlook for specifically in the next quarter, knowing that the fourth Gigafactory plant in Berlin is now online? As you mentioned, Austin also going to be part of the picture as well.
So it's very hard to know exactly what they're going to do, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like 15-20% sequential growth in deliveries. The Austin plant is going to be really exciting as far as its contribution, and then the German plant, I don't expect big numbers out of there, something in the thousands, but not tens of thousands. They're still in an early stage of ramp. And, it's more about the fact that Tesla has the most credible set of EVs on the market with the greatest consumer acceptance. And that's something that's unlikely to change in the short term, despite many high quality companies bringing new cars to market this year. There's supposed to be 500 EVs on the road by the end of 2025. Many of those are going to be wildly successful. That's more the genesis of my more bearish view on Tesla, that and then the egregious valuation versus, for example, Toyota that does, an order of magnitude more in deliveries, but has a $300 billion valuation versus $1 trillion at Tesla.
You say egregious valuation. What do you mean specifically? So
Tesla sold, 936,000 cars last year. Toyota sold more than 9 million. Toyota has, there's nothing that Tesla has that Toyota doesn't, right? Toyota has had a much more longstanding relationship with Panasonic than Tesla. I mean, Tesla's been a very important partner for the last couple of years, but now they have multiple partners. Toyota can bring just as compelling EVs to market if they choose. For them to have a $300 billion valuation, sell 9 million cars, Tesla at $1 trillion valuation with, 900,000 cars is fairly significant disconnect. I think that things will have to normalize. You do need to put a very nice premium in for Tesla for being, the one that essentially created the market category of electric vehicles. And Musk has been a real pioneer. But $1 trillion, too rich for me. I think it's probably worth something, closer to the $300 billion range.
And then, Craig, I got to ask you here, the news du jour with Elon taking on that big stake in Twitter, is that going to be a distraction from his ability to manage Tesla among the other ventures he's also juggling?
That's a good question. So he is a charismatic guy. He has strong opinions, and he is out there in the world in a big way. He's made many tweets not too long ago about the lack of support for free speech on the Twitter platform. I respect Musk. I can't see this as being something that'll take a whole lot of his time. I think this is probably just a passion of his that he likes to see fair and balanced and open markets. And that's something we should all respect.